in the last few years is having boy trouble. The two are facing drug charges in London, and while the boy is in hiding, reportedly undergoing treatment for heroin addiction, Marilyn is talking. Part 2 of our exclusive interview with Marilyn continues. Boy George and Marilyn have been friends for several years, but there have been reports of a falling out between the two. According to Marilyn, it was a battle of egos.
I always feel like I'm victimized, you know. It's like I'm supposed to sit in the corner and not say anything, you know, and just take what's thrown at me. And I've done that for so long now. I just haven't said anything. And as soon as I suddenly say, yes, I'm going to start saying, you know, what I think about the situation, you know, what I know to be true, everyone starts saying, you know, you're grasping on your friend and you're selling a story and all this. Like, it's just rubbish. You know, I don't do things like that, you know, but people should have their fair say. He doesn't want me to succeed. He doesn't want me to succeed. And we were in New York once, and he said, let's do this TV show. It'll be really good for you. You know, it'll make you, you know, you get a record deal in America. And I said, oh, okay, you know, not thinking, because I trust him. And then I did this show, I think it was PM magazine, and I watched it, and it made me look like I hadn't got a brain. I was like this bimbo friend of George's that couldn't do anything for himself, and it was completely relying on George for a career, which is just utter trash. You know what I mean? I don't need George to make me Marilyn. I am Marilyn, or Pete Robinson, or whatever people call me. I am me. I don't need George to help me, you know, be successful. He can't do that.
Shortly before Boy George's arrest, Marilyn claims he wasn't able to get through to George to talk to him about his problem.
I was in New York, and I was trying to get through to him because I'd heard all these stories. And, you know, you just can't get through to him because he's got all these people and you don't know what's going on. I was panicking, you know, and I was stuck in New York in the first place because George had said, you know, come on, let's go on holiday. So we went on holiday and then we stopped at New York. And then he said, oh, stay here for a minute because I've just got to pop back to London and do this and that. So I was waiting in the apartment. I tried to call him up, you know, to see what was going on, so I thought he was coming back to New York. And I looked around and he'd taken my return air ticket. You know, I mean, I had no money. I was stuck in New York. So he'd gone back to New York. I was trying to call him on the phone, and I'd heard all these stories. And he'd gone back to London with my return ticket, and I had no money, nothing, so I was stranded in New York. And that's the kind of thing my best friend does to me.
Marilyn doesn't deny using drugs, but claims he's never been addicted.
The only thing I ever get hooked on is love, which is the most destructive thing of all. Of course I've tried, you know, drugs, and I've always said in all my interviews and stuff, all around the world, that it's really wrong to take drugs. It's really bad. It does nothing but harm you, and I've always said that. You know, it's nothing new.